Page 70, Piano Man. This is in 3/4 time. No sharps or flats in the key signatures. It's in the key of C major. Make sure you can do the scales for C major and A minor, at least 2 octaves up and down. And you ought to do the arpeggios too. C major and A minor. I got videos on them. Go do the beginner and intermediate part of that. For the arpeggio, it's the tremolo exercise. That's the important thing to do. For the most part, this is straight through. I mean, there's nothing really tricky. A few interesting rhythms going on, and you have multiple voices. So we got to watch for that. At the beginning, it's just here. Broken chords in the left hand. Measure 6, 1, 2, 3. 2 and 3. And hold that down. And then I like to do 5th on that because I can do 1, 4. Because I got to hold that down. And then I can lift up. And then you can go up. Whichever. But I prefer 5th. This makes holding it down while I'm playing these other notes a little easier. Let's go down to measure 13 is here. Make sure you're holding these half notes down. Thumb. Just a broken chord. And then here. B. Now they want you to do this is measure 18. That was just here. And then here. I would prefer not to, if I can help it. I mean, they put in a staccato on the left. I don't know about the staccato. To me, you should connect it. And I do that better with a 2-1 and then a 3-1 here. In my mind, it's better without that staccato. Do a 2-1, a 3-1, then a 2-4. However, you decide how you're going to figure it and go with it. Remember, it's a B here. And measure 25. Hold the D down. And lift up there. Lift up. The rhythm will get you, but if you just take it slow and careful, you can count it out and get it. I'm going a little fast. You can go slow. I just don't want this video to last forever. Just make sure when you have these multiple voices in the right hand, you're actually holding the notes down with the hands. Let's look at measure 41. You're here. And you have to play it with 4th finger because the 8th note's right in front of it. And then measure 43, it's a 4. Connect that. And then you can come up. As far as the articulation goes, it's pretty much connected. In the left hand, I like the chuck chuck. They're not really short. It's just disconnected. 1, 2, okay. And the right hand, I'd connect it pretty much. Except for the rest, of course. As far as the dynamics go, it goes to the melody. The MP, it's put where it is because the words are in the way. It belongs to the melody, which is in the right hand. Whatever you think moderately soft is, you keep the left hand under it. And they have a crescendo and a decrescendo, the swell there in the second line. It's above the staff because the words are in the way. They can't put it between the staffs. It still applies to the melody. That D, that dotted half note D is your target. That's where you're after. So everything 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There. And then as this dies away, everything else dies away. Back to the moderately soft again. At the bottom of the page, measures 15. All of a sudden, moderately loud. Here, the left left hand's in the background. And then you're up to about a moderately soft, go back down to soft. Now here we adjust slightly, help. The left hand's going to help us out. I want to keep the left hand in the background, but when the right hand isn't doing anything, the left hand has to kind of take over. So on measure 17, it's here. You're moderately loud, you're soft, but then in measure 18, this needs to come out as though it's melody. I mean, none of this is melody. So it's like you almost play both hands the same here. Go back down to soft, because now that, or moderately soft, the right hand's going to be moderately loud. We want to hear the melody over everything else. Doesn't mean you got to play the melody louder. It means you got to play the melody like it's supposed to, and everything else has to be softer. Now measure 34, you're coming back down. That's moderately soft, this is soft. And on measure 38, that's soft, it's background. Anything that doesn't have the words is background. And it needs, so 37, soft. And anyway, get to know well enough you can feel these dynamics. And you put in the dynamics. For some reason, they want it to end loud at the bottom of page 73. Okay, if that's what they want. It's kind of both hands there, together, doing it together. Now there's a repeat sign and a first and second ending at the bottom of page 73. So you're going to repeat it back to, actually it's almost the beginning. At the top of page 70, the reverse repeat sign, you repeat back to there and you like to play the whole thing again. And if you want to do all the verses, because there's 3 verses, actually there's 4 verses to it, then you would just keep repeating until you get all the verses done. And then on measure 67, last time RIT, that means after the last verse that you're going to do, then you slow down. Ta-da! We're done, I guess. We need a little bit of pedal here, but we have to be careful because we don't want to smear it up too bad. I'd like to hear the chuck. Well, there's a couple waltz style pedaling. This is 3/4 time. It's like a waltz. We can try those and experiment and see what they sound like. Do we like the sound of those? And if so, we can use them. So if I push down just the first beat of a measure, it sounds like this. That. If I push down just the first 2 beats of a measure, it's this way. You have to decide what you like, and maybe it's a combination of one and then the other. But I don't like the idea of pedaling some measures and not others, like they're doing here. Because then you get the overtones for one measure and not for another, and it's like, what's going on? I'd like more consistency in there. So I want to kind of try and pedal most of it the same. So I might pedal, say, the first 2 beats of the measure. Don't pedal that. You don't pedal until here. And on measure 7, you can pedal all of that because it's a, or not. I don't know. You decide. It depends on what you like to hear. Get to measure 15, go ahead and do this as shown. So you decide on the pedal. I mean, you pedal it like the showing in the book. I just don't like all the blurriness, and I don't like the difference between when they pedal and when they don't, like at the beginning. I don't want to pedal the first full measure and not the second. So I want to pedal them sort of the same, and so I can pedal the first 2 beats of each measure, and that would sort of iron it out. Make it a little more consistent. On measure 26, I wouldn't pedal the last beat. that, leave that alone. So measure 25, you're here. And then lift up before you do that. And anywhere else that's similar to that, I'd pedal it the same way. So you experiment with the pedaling and see what you like. The pedaling needs to enhance the sound, not get in the way. As far as the speed goes, you can find recordings of this. It's kind of a happy song, sort of, I guess. I don't know. At the end. Now there's no pedal indicated for the second ending at the bottom of page 73. I disagree. I would pedal with each beat there on page, and the first here. I want to keep the overtones coming, and especially I'm getting louder. I want all of that sound. Now they do have another repeat sign at the end of the second ending. Well, I'm kind of wondering, why is that repeat sign there? My gut feeling here is that repeat sign at the end of the second ending is an error. I could be wrong. Maybe they really do want you to repeat it over and over until you can't sing it anymore. It just goes on and on and on forever. I don't know. But in my opinion, you just keep repeating the first ending for all the verses you're going to sing, and then after you're done, the last time you slow down and you go to the second ending, you're done. You don't repeat anything there. That's what I'm recommending. I think there's a slight error in the music. It's minor, but it's still. There's a pickup beat at the beginning. We're coming in on beat 3. There should be another measure somewhere here with 2 beats in it, and there isn't. Everything's got 3 counts in it. So in my opinion, the last measure at the bottom of page 73, those dots should not be there. It should just be a half note. It doesn't really affect how you play it because you're slowing down, and so it's going to last longer than 2 counts, what seems to last longer than 2 counts anyway. But technically, it should only have 2 counts in it. I like to play with you very slowly to double check the notes and the rhythms. It's really, you got some tricky rhythms going on in the right hand. I'm not going to do the repeat. I'm just going to play it through. I'm going to do pages 70 and 71, and then I'm going to stop and turn the page and count in again, and then we'll finish it up. No repeat, just straight through. So since we have a pickup beat at the beginning, then I'll just give us 2 counts. Ready, go. Turn the page. 1, ready, go. Second ending. 2, 3, tie, 2, 3.